So I try to create the operating system, select to anywhere. Yes. Okay. Yes. Review and then launch. See, this is the Linux operating system I'm launching. I want to create the key pair. So you can select the existing key pair, or if you want to create the new key pair, test key pair one is there. I'm selecting. Otherwise, you can create new key pair. Especially select new key pair, you key pair name. So I'm just giving the key pair. This is the Linux key pair. Linux key pair um, 2. So R1 Linux key pair 1. This is my Linux key pair 1. Download key pair and then launch instance. I download my key pair and then click on launch instance. So by using this key pair, I will connect it to my Linux operating system. Okay. So first I logged into my dashboard. So I created one Linux virtual machine. Now the process will be start here. So just wait 2 to 3 minutes. So once the machine is started, yeah, so once the system is up, so we can connect to the system. So before that, I download key pair, right? So I will create the private key. So how to create in your computer, you have to install 2 softwares, putty generator. First of all, open the putty gen. This is the my putty gen software. Okay, open, select sh1 rsa, just click on load. I'm trying to generate the key pair here. Select the download tab. This is the download, select all files. This is my Linux key pair. Select, click OK, save as a private key. Yes, private key name. You can give test key, 1, 2, 3, save. Key is saved, right? Now, once the system is initialized status checks screen, now you can connect it to Linux operating system. This is my mission. So once you log into your machine, you have to start the all the software. So first you have to install the AWS CLI and then Docker, kubectl. In AWS cloud, you have to install the Elastic and go to Elastic Container Registry. In ECR, you have to create the one repository. So you need to push that image to the repository, the repository to ECS. So you can create cluster, you can deploy the application. So we will see one by one. Right. So this is, so I want to install the AWS CLI software in my Linux machine. So this is the command. So AWS CLI, just to click on AWS CLI, it will come like this. So this is the location. So this is guide. Just click on document. Now you can see all the installation related. So select user guide. If you want to select user guide, get started. Select on install and update. Here place you can install the AWS. If you want to install the AWS in Linux, so these are the steps to install the AWS CLI in Linux. Now, if you want to install the AWS CLI in your Windows computer, base computer, yes, these are the steps. You are using a Mac operating system, these are the steps to install the AWS CLI in your Mac operating system. You have 3 operating steps. Right now, I am logged into my Linux machine. I want to install the AWS CLI in my Linux. So to install the AWS CLI, configure the AWS CLI, this is the guide. So I will share you the link. You can just note into your notepad. Yeah. From this location, you can install the AWS CLI software, and also you can configure the AWS CLI by using the EC2 instance. Imagine, go to instance, you can create the EC2 instance here. So you have processes there to create the EC2, key pair, create a security group and instance you can create. So this is the one process. Okay, creation part is not required right now. So just we need to install first AWS CLI software in Linux machine. Okay, so now connected to first your Linux machine. So this is my public IP address. Just check it, machine is ready or not. Yeah. So click on this one. Yes. So my status check should be green. So then only the system will ready. This is my Linux server 2. This is my machine. Just click on refresh. Yeah. Select this machine 2 and copy the public IP address and then open the putty software. I want to connect to my Linux machine via putty. Enter public IP address. Extend SSH, select the authentication and select our key, test key 1, 2, 3, open. And go for appearance tab, change the font size. So let me 16. Okay, just click OK. Now I connected to my Linux operation. Default username for any Amazon Linux or Red Hat system is EC2 user. This is the default username. So once you enter the EC2 user, now I'm successfully connected to my Amazon Linux machine. Now you can enter all the Linux commands you can practice here. Calculate command, date command. So you can enter all the Linux command. I share the Linux guide also. So you can enter here. So you can see who am I, who logged in. Yes, this is present working directory. Yeah. Okay. So once you log into a Linux operating system, So you have to install the default plugin. So the command to install default plugins is sudo. This is command to install default plugin, sudo yum space update space yum space update space -y. This is command to install the initial plugins. All our initial software inbuilt softwares are enabled. So to enable the inbuilt software, this is command. So inbuilt softwares or plugins are updated. Next, you have to install the AWS CLI. So this is the command. So install update. I want to install the AWS CLI in Linux or Mac or Windows. Linux. Extend the Linux. So these are the command to install the AWS CLI. Copy these three commands and paste. Copy and go for your Linux operating system. Okay. So copy paste here. Clear and then enter here. So it will execute it one run. All commands are running. See. See, it executed one by one. Enter. Just click on enter. Yes. So AWS CLS successfully installed. Now you see to check the version AWS hyphen version to check the AWS CLI install or not. So this is command to check the software install or not successfully. AWS space hyphen version. Now it will display I successfully installed the AWS CLI latest version 2.4.7 along with the Python 3.8.7. Okay. AWS CLI successfully installed. Once install the AWS CLI, no, you need to connect it to your dashboard. So via AWS CLI to your AWS dashboard. To connect to your to try to log into your AWS dashboard via CLI. So we need to access key and private key. So generate the access key and private key. So go for your account, just click on security credentials. In security credential, now you can see access key and secret key. Now here I already one key is generated here. Now let me create new access key. So this is my new access key. So this is the access key ID. Copy this access key. Now to connect to from your Linux system to AWS dashboard via CLI, the command is AWS space configure. This is the you have to enter. This don't forget AWS space configure. Now it will ask the your say access key. Now copy paste the access key. Next it will asking the secret key. Now copy paste the secret key. So this is my secret key. I'm connected to my dashboard via CLI. Okay. Now which region you are working right now? So right now I'm working under region. You can download this P and close. So region right now working EC2 dashboard. Go to dashboard. You can find the region. Yes. First region, right? Region name is US dash East dash 1. So enter the region name US dash East dash 1. Right. Output format JSON script output format, right? So successfully connected to my AWS dashboard and AWS software also installed. This is the first software successfully installed connected. Next one, I want to install Docker. Now check the Docker install or not. Sudo space check the whether Docker is sudo space Docker space. So version -v. See, there is no Docker install. Now, I want to install Docker right now. So to install the Docker, so we have a special set of commands. Yes, so AWS CLI successfully installed. Now go try to install the Docker. Install Docker in Amazon Linux. So we have the commands to install Docker. Yeah, these are the commands to install Docker. So I want to install the Docker in Linux operating system. These are the commands to install Docker. I will share this link also. Yes, so you can make in your notepad to install the Docker. Yes, so first copy this command, copy paste and enter into Linux operating system. Yes, sudo yum update -y. Yeah, so next enter this command. So yes, right, this one also successfully installing. So why? Because if you want to connect with the ECR, ECS, EKS, so we need AWS CLI and Docker and Kubectl. So these three softwares are required. So that is the reason first I install the AWS CLI. Now I am installing the Docker. After that, I will install the Kubectl commands. Let's see one by one. I will show you. Yeah. Yeah, so this one install now. So after that install this command. Try this commands. Sudo yum install docker. Yeah, so docker install successfully. So once you install the docker service, you need to start the service. Sudo systemctl start docker. See, docker services started successfully. Whether it is started or not, you need to verify the status also. So sudo system sudo system ctl status docker. See, docker successfully installed, it is running now. So my docker is active. So yeah, two softwares I successfully installed. First one is the AWS hyphen version. AWS CLI successfully installed. Second one is the command is to check the docker version, sudo space docker space hyphen v. See, so docker install. So AWS CLI 2.47 install. Docker version is 20.10 installed successfully. Right. So once installed docker, by default there is no images available in our Linux operating system. It is empty. To check the images are not there, sudo space so docker space images. You can enter this one. See, there is no images, repository tag, everything is empty. So there is no images means there is no container also. So sudo space to check the containers are there or not. Command is sudo space docker space ps hyphen a. See, there is no containers also. So containers are not available, images are not available. Right now I want to download my images from. So you can download your images from any external repository, docker hub, github, bitbucket, whatever. So you can use any external repository. So generally docker images we are using docker hub. So try to log into docker hub. So this is the external repository. Sign into docker hub. You can download the 1 or 2 images from docker hub to your local machine, local Linux computer. So in your docker hub, bitbucket, github, you can create an account. So by using the your Gmail account, this is a free open source software. So anyone can create an account. In that repository, you can create the number of repositories, public repository and private repository. You can store your coding data. You can store the images. You can store your container. You can store your Java files, .NET files, Python files. Whenever you want, you can download. If that coding data available in your local computer, local repository, if for example your system will crash or hard disk will crash or your system will someone is stolen, your data will be lost. So that is the reason most of the developer DevOps engineer, they are trying to store their important information into external repository by creating the private repository. In the external repository we have two options. We can create a private repository and public repository. If it is your personal information, you have to create the private repository. You can store your data. It is public information, anyone can access that information. Then you can create public repository. You can upload your data into public repository. You have two options. Yes, so try to log into Docker. So today these all are the very important concepts. So AWS CLI, Docker, Elastic Container Registry, Elastic Container Services, Kubernetes, and Forgate, Kubectl. So try to log into my system. Click on sign in. I will explain all in one shot. Yes. So right now I log into my Docker Hub. So I want to just download a hello world image. You can download any image, hello world image. So this is hello world image. I want to download this Docker Hub image into my local system. This is command. You can use the full command. Copy this command. Go to your Linux operating system. Sudo space docker space images. See, there is no, right now there is no image, right? So sudo space, enter this command. I am downloading the one image from Docker Hub to my local system. Now again enter command sudo space docker space images. See, one image is downloaded successfully. Hello world. So image is ready. So you want to convert that image to container. So to convert the content, we need to run that image. Then only it will convert it into container. So like that, you can download any images. Let me download one more images. Nginx web server. Nginx. Yes. This is the Nginx one web server. Yes. Go and download this Nginx official information also. This is the Nginx Docker image. I am downloading this Docker image into my local system. Same command, sudo space, so copy paste that command. Yeah, Docker pull Nginx. See, Nginx also successfully. Like that, you can download any image from Docker hub to your repository to your local system. Now enter the verification command sudo space docker space images. See, two images I downloaded my Docker external repository to my local Linux operating system. So these are two images. These are not containers. So if you want to see either containers are there, not sudo space docker space ps hyphen here. See, there is no container here. So I want to convert that image to container. So command is you need to run that image. So how to run? So command is sudo space docker space. Just enter run space image name. My image name is the hello what I am running the hello what image. So you can like that you hello what you can run any image. So sudo space docker space run space name of the image. So right now example I'm taking hello what. We enter, it will create the container. Image will run and successfully create the container also. See hello from docker. So this is message shows that your installation appears to be working correctly. So image will be created. Now again enter that command. So same command sudo space yeah docker ps hyphen a. Now you can see one container is created. This is container id, this is the image, this is the command we entered. So this is like that we can convert the image into container. This container you can deploy into any cluster. So you can deploy a number of cluster. You can create any ECS cluster or EKS cluster. You can anywhere you can deploy these containers. So sudo space docker space sudo space docker space yes sudo space docker space ps hyphen a. So it will display the sorry sudo space ps hyphen a. So I created one container also. So all what container like that. So like that we have one more image nginx. If you run that image that container also created. Same process. If you want to run also sudo space docker space. So images. These are the images, right? Two images. One image already converted into containers. I want to convert a second image also. Same command sudo space docker space run space image name, your image name. So if right now nginx, this is my image name. Now this image also successfully converted into container. So once it converted into container, that container is means collection of the binary files, plugins files. So that is one application. So perfect application. That application you can deploy. You can run into any. You can run into Jenkins. You can run into clusters. You can run into independent systems. Anywhere you can run. So now you can see container is created not sudo space docker space ps hyphen a. See two containers are created. So along with container id also. This is containers. This is container id. This is image name. This is image name. This is command. So 29 seconds one created. 1 minute ago one created like this. Okay. So this is the part one. Right now I have the two images. So I want to push this image into sudo space docker space images. See, I have two images. I want to push this image into my ECR internal repository. In AWS, you have internal repository, Elastic Container Registry. So now here, just click on ECR, Elastic Container Registry. So how to push? This is also very important. How to push your images from your Windows 10 or your Linux machine terminal to the ECR, Elastic Container Registry. Just click on Elastic Container Registry. Elastic Container Registry. Open this one, get started. Yes, I want to create the one repository, public repository name, test to public repo. You can give any name, repo 9, test public repo 9. Yes, just create. In ECR, I just created one repository, public repository. See, so we have two types. In ECR, ECR means it is a repository. So here we can store our coding, our images we can upload here. We can push our containers. So we can store our coding and everything. So here we have private repository, public repository. Right now I created one repository under public. This is my ECR public repository, Elastic Container Registry public repository. Public repository, right now there is no images. See, no images to display. I want to push my local, my image, my source code, my project code to this ECR. So this from this ECR to you can deploy into ECS. Now to push this source code to this place, these are the command. You push command. See, these are the push command. So copy the first command. So before executing this command, copy paste into your notepad and just verify what is the meaning of this command. This is the Yes, right now US one location I am there. Yeah, this is login. Okay, so now we enter this command. Go to your Linux computer. Now we enter. Yes. So if you log in success, everything is good. Otherwise, yeah, see, get permission denied. So this is not executing. So some permissions are permission denied. So what you have to do? So we need to do the AWS config again. AWS space. We have the access key secret key. AWS space configure. Yes. Now enter the access key and secret key. Try to, yeah. So go for, yes, we downloaded the access key and private key. So this is the my key information and copy paste the key and try again. Close. So yes, this is the copy these two things, two lines into notepad. Yeah, this is my key information. Yes. Okay, copy paste here. Yeah. So this is my access key. Again, I re-enter the access key. Okay, and then private key, secret key. This is my secret key. So I'm authenticating to my AWS dashboard by using the access key and secret key. And then region, yes, same region, output format JSON. YAML or JSON you can use. Right. Now enter same command. Still not able to connect, then we need to give the IAM role. If not connect, we have to give the IAM role. Still is not connect. Some that means you need to give the IAM role to your EC2 instance. Now go for your EC2 dashboard. EC2 dashboard. Yeah, right. So this is my computer EC2 instance. So give the IAM role. IAM role contain the ECR full permission. Select this mission. Go for action stop. So here image networking. So we need to attach the one policy. So instance attach the attach replace IAM role, right? So click on that attach IAM role. I already created a elastic container registry policy. I'm adding that policy. EC to registry ECR registry X. Yes, I'm adding this one. This permission. Yes, click apply. Click close. Now you can try. Now you can try same command. Just click and clear. Enter this one. Just wait. So once is that updated, we can go on refresh. Yes. Yeah, container registry permission I have given. Yes, enter. Still asking permission. We need to wait some time. Yes. Now enter this one. Yes. Yeah. It will ask permission. It will take some time. Sometimes we need to reboot system. So once you install all this stuff, we have to reboot the system. Select and action stuff. Just reboot. Once adding the policy, I want to reboot. Just reboot. Just click on reboot. Okay. So meanwhile, I will go. I will show in other system. Go and connect this mission. Same mission. This is also Linux mission. I install the same policies here also. Put it. Copy paste and select appearance. Yes, go for dashboard. Yes, click OK. Yes, so select SSH connection authentication. Select the key pair, new key one, just open, right? EC2 dash user. Okay. Now see, check the AWS space hyphen version. AWS CLI install not. Yeah, install. So sudo space docker space hyphen v hyphen version. Docker installer. Docker is also sudo space docker space images. So there is no image. Sudo space docker space images. Right now there is no images. Sudo space docker space start sudo systemctl. Start the docker service sudo systemctl start docker and check the status. Sudo space systemctl status docker. This is running perfectly. Sudo space docker space. See, right now I have so many images here. Right. So you can deploy these images. Sudo space docker space ps hyphen a. Is there any container? Yeah, hello world container is already there. Right. Now connected to your AWS dashboard by using this access key and secret key. These are the access key secret keys. First copy the access key and yes, same process. AWS configure. Yes, so copy paste the access key and then paste the secret key. Now it is connected to, I'm connecting to AWS management portal via CLI one instead of Kubectl. Yes, and then same location region is same, US East one, first region, output format is the same. Done. Next to, we need to connect it to the ECS, Elastic Container Registry. Now go for our registry ECS, Elastic Container Registry, ECR. Yes, container registry. Now go and yes, go to your public repository, open public. There's no images here. I want to push one image from local machine to here. Just click on push command. These are the process. Copy the first command and then paste here. It will come like this. See, login succeed. So if not come like this, we need to restart the system. We need to provide the IAM role. So perfectly, we need to install the Docker again. We restart the Docker service like that. So then it will connect it like this. Once login success, so you are connected to Elastic Content Registry. Now you can push the image from this place to your registry. So third command is now, second command is not required. So I want to push image, copy the third command, copy paste into notepad. So this is the third command. So first we need to rename the image. So my image name is hello world. This is the repository name. So this place I am tagging the name hello space what. This is my image. Example, I'm taking hello world image, simple image. Tag name is latest. This is my repository. Here tag name latest. Now just add tag to your repository. Yes, go and enter this command. So hello world is converted to latest. Hello world name is latest. This is the entire image name. Yes, tag. I am tagging like this. It's tagged. You can clear. Now you can check the sudo space either tagged or not. Docker space images. See, with your repository tag is added. This is my repository, test public repo 9. Okay, one tag is added. I want to push this image to my ECR, Elastic Container Registry. To push, we have the last command. Fourth command, copy this command. As it is, you can execute the last command. Copy this. Docker push this image to ECR repository. Enter. So entire that image will be pushed to our AWS management portal. Now come to AWS management portal. Now see image is display or not here. Refresh. Now you can see my image is pushed to my ECR repository. So from there you can just click on this image. This is your image location. This is the image path. This image URL you can use in any cluster. You can deploy into Kubernetes or you can deploy the ECS wherever you want. You can deploy this image. You can run that image. So this is the normal process. This is step one. So first you need to install the from your Windows system, from your Linux or Mac. So you need to push the image to the repository. This is the part one. So this is part one, simple. So if you take Linux machine, if you take Windows machine, if you take Mac OS, if it is Windows 10, process same. If it is Linux or Mac OS, process same. So here you have to install the Git bash terminal. Here you have to install terminal. Linux by default terminal is, Mac also by default terminal. In Linux, we do not have terminal. Either we have to use the PowerShell. PowerShell is not effective, so we have to use the Git bash. So Git bash is like a Linux terminal. So via Git bash, you can push the image to the ECR, Elastic Container Registry. Via Linux terminal, right now we are pushing. So like this. Via Mac also we have terminal. You can push the image to the ECR, Elastic Container Registry. From this ECR place to, we can push that image to cluster, Elastic Cluster Service, ECS. Now I will show you how to create the cluster in ECS first. After that, I will show the EKS also. First, create the cluster in ECS, Elastic Container Services. Now here below also is there same dashboard. Imagine ECS. Just click on cluster. So open the ECS. Now just click on cluster. Yeah, just click on cluster. I am creating the ECS cluster, Elastic Kubernetes Elastic Container Services cluster. Yeah, so ECS cluster. Yeah, this is the ECS cluster. Yeah, cluster, create cluster. So I want to create cluster. So we can create cluster in different methods. So networking, this is one option. Networking VPC subnets, we can create cluster, or cluster with Linux operating system, Linux machines cluster we can create. Any cluster, if you want Windows machines, yes, Windows with along with Windows machine, you can create cluster. Okay, these are the manual server based clusters. We have latest one, serverless technology cluster, that is Forgate. I am not selecting anything here. Just click on next. Now enter the cluster. My cluster name is the, you can give any cluster name. So like I am giving the Cloud Vision HYD CV HYD cluster, CV HYD cluster, CV HYD cluster. Okay, this is my cluster name. You can give any name. Create VPC. So per cluster means nothing but master node I am creating. In master node, we need separate VPC. This is my VPC network. These are the subnets, right? Okay, good, great. So my cluster is created along with the cloud permission stack. So cluster is ECS cluster is created. It's not EKS, it is ECS. Elastic Container Service cluster is created. This is our cluster name. Just wait 2 to 3 minutes. Cluster will create. Once cluster create, now you can start creating the master nodes. Worker nodes. So this is the master node will be created. So in the master nodes, you can create the worker nodes as well as. Let's see. Yeah. So cluster is start creating. Just it will take 2 to 3 minutes. Just wait. Just refresh. Go and see cluster is created or not. Elastic Container Services. Yes, Elastic Container Services. Let's see. To select cluster, it will display demo cluster to, yeah, CVHOD cluster. Open your cluster. My cluster is created active. Status is active. So inside cluster, anything is there? Nothing. Go per task, nothing. ECD instance, nothing. It is a just empty cluster. Now start creating the nodes, worker nodes. So for that, we need to create the task definition. Here, task. First, we need to create the task definition. Go per task definition. So we have two task definitions here. To try to create one task definition, create a new task definition. You can create the task definition with Forgate external EC2 instance. These are the EC2 instance means server based, external also server based. This is the Forgate latest technology, serverless technology. So select Forgate and then click next. Okay, your task name. So you can give any sample or give sample web server. I'm giving web dash app, web app one. Okay. Requirement table Forgate task role. So nothing, I'm not selecting anything here. All are default only. Operating system, you can go and select. I want to execute my task in Linux operating system. Yes. Here, my task minimum RAM 0.5 GB RAM required. Minimum process microprocessor speed required 2.5 GB CPU required. Minimum RAM, minimum processor selected. Now we have option, right? Add container. This is the place we are adding the container. This is very important. Add container. Just you can add container. Now you can add your container. So right now we push to the right. So we are pushing our images to your local computers, your local repository. We are pushing images to the AWS local repository ECR. So ECR contain all images, right? From where images you can take from ECS. Now this is the place you are taking images from ECR to ECS. So container name. So right now I want to go to one web server, nginx, Apache, whatever maybe. Let me nginx web server, nginx web server container. This name, nginx web server container. It is asking the image location. Where is that image? So open the AWS dashboard. I am taking image from ECR, Elastic Container registry. Open registry. You have use number of repositories. You can take your This is the allowed image. So this is not web image. So I want to web image. So go per public registry, public registry. I want taking the images from here. So enter the, you want NGNIX. I'm taking images from the repository only. So, but I want web server image. Yes, you can. Yeah, this is the Nginx image. Right, copy image, same. This is the URL. So image location URL. Yes, this is the URL, right? This one. This is one method, or this go for latest. This is URL, right? You can use anyone. So this one, this is the hello world image. I'm just showing the web server. All right, and select to go for your location. Copy paste that to image location URL. Right, paste. Okay. So now everything is default. This is the CPU. Everything is default, and just click on add. Image will be added. See, yes, image will be added here. Now on create task. I just now created one task successfully. You task definition. Yeah, task created successfully. Now go for your cluster. So task is a create cluster. In that cluster, I created one task. So cluster, yes, in cluster, select your cluster. Yes, this is my HOID cluster. Yeah, so go click on task. This is my task. Run the task. After creating task, just run new task. I want to run my task. Forgate. Select your Linux operating system. This is my task. Here, 3 tasks are there. So right now, I create a new task. Nginx Web Server 1. I select my task. So revision latest cluster. In each cluster, you want to run your application or your task. I want to run my application in my cluster, CVHOD cluster. So number of the tasks. So in number of the tasks means number of nodes. So in number of the nodes, you want to run your application. So one single node is sufficient right now. I select a single node. If you want different VPC, yes, select VPC. So which VPC you want? This is my VPC. I want to run my worker node. So these are my subnets I'm selecting. Any subnet it will run. Security groups. So just click on edit security groups. You can HTTP rule is allowed or not. Yes, HTTP is rule allowed. If you want a more rule, you can add also here. Yes, so here public IP address disabled. You need to enable the public IP address. It's not disabled. Select the, let's see, public IP address should be enabled. Just go on to select, change the VPC. Yes, so should be select to public IP address. Should be enabled. I think this is not at Forgate, not select. Select Forgate, Linux operating system, your server name, cluster, number of task 1. Okay. Select VPC. Yes. So select the subnets. Select all subnets. Yes. And then yes. Here auto as in public able should be enabled. Not this. Enable and run the tasks. Created cluster. In cluster, I created one task definition. Task definition nothing but application definition. I deployed my application, Nginx Web Server application, into this ECS cluster. See, my application is running in the cluster. It is running in one node, single node. Forget single node is running. Single worker node is running. Now click on this application. Now you can see status of your application. This is your cluster name. This is the launch type. Forgate is, I am using Forgate technology. I am launched the web server. I deployed my web server into my cluster. This is the public IP address of my application. Okay, it's status pending. Once status active running, now you can access your web server. So it will take 2 to 3 minutes. Just wait. This is your public IP address. Copy the public IP address. Just wait. So these are tags, log information, details. It's latest status pending. It should be active. It will take 2 to 3 minutes. Once it's active, you can access your output. You can check the website. You can route to yes, still pending. Tags. So yes, it will take 2 to 3 minutes. This is my cluster. Yes, it's loading. See, it's running. Okay, this is active. Now try to access your application. Just see, my web server is successfully. So I am accessing web server via cluster. This application, this web application running in my cluster, ECS cluster. Okay, so like that, this is running in one instant. Now you can see. So one task created. So see, one instant, one task created only. Like that, if you go for service, if you create a service, multiple instances will create. Go for create services. You can run the same task in multiple instances, means multiple Linux, select Linux operating system, same task. Okay, how many number of instances you want? Number of instances I want to run in four computers I want to run my task. Okay, deployment and everything is default. Okay, click next. I'm creating the service now. Just click next step. So okay, service name, test to have web app. Okay, and then click next. Click next. Okay, here you can want, you can add application load balancer also at time of creating services. Yeah, you can select the subnets. Yes, and then this is the public IP address enable. Click next. See, click next. See, create a service. Yeah, service is created. So in service, I am deploying the my application in multiple instances. So by high availability, because of high availability, one instance down. See, same application I am running in 4 instances, and it is running in 4 instances. In case so by mistakenly one instance down, it is application available in 3 instances. In meanwhile, you can repair that instant. So this is the way real time for high availability. So real time companies are deploying their most of the applications into cluster because of the disaster recovery and high availability, backup and restore also. Here we can use auto scaling, deployment to see different options are available. You can apply all metrics. You can see metric status and tags, logs, events, okay, details, everything you can see. The application is still anytime, anywhere, 24/7. Your website is running because of cluster management. Okay, so this is the cluster we created in ECS, elastic container service. Now we can create the advanced one, EKS, elastic Kubernetes services. So EKS also we can create cluster. Now go for EKS, elastic Kubernetes service. Yeah, just click on elastic Kubernetes services. This is the most trusted way to start and run the your cluster. Now open the cluster, just click on cluster EKS. Right now EKS, there is no clusters here, so you do not have any clusters. Let me create one cluster. Just click on create. So create cluster. So your cluster name, so I'm just taking my cluster name hello. You can give any name. Hello what cluster, I'm giving like hello what cluster. Hello what cluster, cluster. Yeah, hello what cluster. So which Kubernetes version you are installing in your cluster? So I want to install my cluster in 1.1. This is my Kubernetes engine, cluster engine, Kubernetes service engine, right? So here roles are important. So we need to select the your cluster role. So I already created the EKS cluster role. I'm selecting that EKS cluster role and then click next. Okay, now select your default VPC or custom VPC. I'm selecting default VPC. Here EC2 1, this is the US East 1 is down. I'm checking this. I am selecting remaining subnets. Okay, here cluster endpoint access is always public. So per expose public access. So this is public and private. This is private. Yeah, select the public. Remaining are default options. Click next. These are all the default options. If you want API server, you can enable. Audit, you can enable based on your requirement. If you lead suggest or manager suggest to enable these APIs, yes, you can enable. You know, if not, you can disable. So these are highly chargeable. That is the reason by default I am all disabling. If only you require, you can enable also API server. Okay, click next. Again, click next and create. See, in AWS management dashboard, I created one cluster. So cluster, my cluster is creating. So yeah, cluster is, this is step one. Step two, go to your instant. Instant means your local Windows system. If you are using the Windows computer, you go for git bash terminal you have to use to connect to cluster. In case if you are using the Linux operating system, you need to connect to Linux operating. This is my Linux operating system. I want to connect it to my AWS EKS cluster via my Linux terminal. You can go with 3 methods. So in 3 computers you can connect to. So if you are using the Windows computer, bitbash, you can connect to a cluster. If you are using the Linux computer terminal, you can connect. If you are using the Mac OS via terminal, you can connect to the cluster. Okay, so these are 3 methods. So right, so next to cluster is start installing in the dashboard. Now go for your system. Now I want to install the kubectl here. So there is no kubectl, there is no kubectl here. So how to install kubectl? Now this is the syntax. So kubectl, okay, kubectl, install kubectl in AWS line. Yeah, enter kubectl install. Now install kubectl tools. So open this link. So I want to install kubectl on which operating system you want to install, Linux, Mac, or Windows. I want to install kubectl on Linux. Select Linux. This is the place I want to install kubectl. This we have one more method that is very easy. Install kubectl on Amazon Linux. Install kubectl in Amazon Linux. Yes, this method. Install kubectl EKS. This is the actual reference guide. So why we are doing the cluster in AWS, right? So we need to follow the AWS guide. This is the accurate guide. Concepts are very easy. Now this is the you can install kubectl Mac OS, Linux, Windows. I want to install kubectl on my Linux computer. In your any cluster, which version, which kubectl will install 1.21. Now you take this URL. You push selected the version 1.20. You have to take this URL. So I install the cluster. My Kubernetes engine is 1.1. Now copy this command. So paste here. So enter this here. Yes, enter. This is first command. I'm trying to install the kubectl. Now second command. So go for the second option. So this is the engine 1.21, my engine. Copy this command. Yes, paste here. Like that, one by one we have to enter. Yeah, this is also I enter. Now go for the option 3. Yeah, option 3. Apply execute permissions on binary. So if you not enter this command, it will never connected to your cluster. So permissions is also very mandatory. Sometimes you forget to give the permission. That is also sometimes real time we are facing problem. Select this one and try to enter this one, chmod x kubectl permission. Yes. Now go on to try the fourth command. So this is a path set. Sometimes most of the people is confusing here only. So what is this path? How you are setting? So copy the binary to folder into your path. Copy binary folder into path. You already installed the version kubectl. Then you recommended to creating the home bin kubectl, and ensure home bin comes from the path. So this is the path. This is the syntax to create path. Now copy this syntax and execute this syntax. This must be executed. Then only you can connect it to a cluster. If you not executed, so again you need to retry the all the comments. Okay, step 4 done. Now go for step 5. Yes, and execute. Yes, one. Yes, this is also executed. And then last step. So check the kubectl version install not. This is command to check the kubectl install or not. Enter. See, kubectl version v1.21.2 installed successfully. Right. So I successfully installed the AWS CLI, Docker I installed, kubectl also I installed. Okay, now, so what is use of this kubectl? This is the command line utility tool to connect to your cluster, Kubernetes cluster. So to connect to cluster, we need to enter 2 commands for connectivity. So go for your cluster. Now I create my cluster in which region? US East 1 region, right? So now enter these 2 commands. These 2 commands we are using to connectivity purpose. These are the 2 commands. We have to enter these 2 commands. These 2 commands. AWS EKS region. So if you select different region, you have to enter this region and then describe the cluster. This is the name of your cluster. I entered the same name, allow what cluster, query cluster status. This is the command first we need to enter for connectivity purpose. My kubectl tool to cluster. Go for our system, enter this command, enter. See, it is connected. Now it is creating. Cluster is still creating, right? That is reason it's creating. Once it's created, it show active. Now go and check cluster is created or not. It's still creating. Just see. The cluster must be active. After that, you have to enter that command. Just wait. Just click on load. This is very important in real time. Just create. Let's see. So cluster will take 2 to 3 minutes. So just based on your system configuration, sometimes it will take long time also, 20-30 minutes. Just wait. Based on your base machine configuration, RAM, microprocessor capacity. Let's see, start creating. Yeah. So once it's active, now you can connect it to your cluster via kubectl. Just refresh. Just click on refresh. Refresh. Just click on refresh. Refresh. Just refresh. Just click on refresh. Just click on refresh. Yeah, it will take 2 to 3 minutes. Just wait. Once cluster ready, now you can connect it to cluster. Just 2 minutes. So again, repeat this command. It shows still creating. Yeah, still creating. Once created, then only it show active. Active means is create, still creating. Cluster is creating. After that, you have to enter this command. So second command. So this is the AWS region used one, update kubectl file. This is will update the kubectl file. I will give these two commands also. I will ping you can make into your notepad. Connectivity first, we are using these two commands. It is there in guide also. In guide also you can see to connect to the cluster. Clearly you will show. This is the installation of the kubectl. Now come to connectivity part. Now see here. Troubleshooting EKS cluster, connected to cluster. Just see, connected to cluster. We have different methods. Connected to cluster. So via EKS registry cluster or SMS creation activity, these are different methods. So via EKS CTL, you can connect it to your cluster. On AWS CLA, we are using the AWS CLA right now. This is the method to connect AWS CLA to cluster. And also management to console, directly GraphQL also you can connect to the cluster. These are three methods. Right now we are using the AWS CLA method. You can go for EKS CTL method or AWS CLA or management. These are three methods to connect to your cluster. Let's see, just go and refresh. It's still creating. Just wait. Once it's created, then only we can connect to the cluster. So after creating cluster, here under configuration, compute. So this option will be enabled, add node group. So cluster means master node. In master node, if you create the worker nodes. So here add group name means we can create the worker nodes. Once worker nodes are created, you can deploy your applications into worker nodes. Yes, just click on refresh. So here cluster and worker nodes we can create in the same VPC or cluster in one VPC and worker nodes in one other VPC. So that process also you can follow. Both are in different VPC or say VPC you can use based on the requirement. Just click on refresh. It will take 2 to 3 minutes. Let's see. Let's click on refresh. Yes, just refresh. Still creating. Load overview configuration. Yeah, so once it created, the 10 minutes condition only, it will finish. It will not take more than 10 minutes. So you can wind up for section. Yeah, still it is in creating status only. Clear. Yeah, active. See, now it is created. See, it is active. See, cluster is successfully created. So once cluster created, you have to enter this command, first command. So after entering the first command, now enter the second command. So here, the region name, cluster name, you need to make sure. Remaining all of the syntax only. So region name, cluster name I mentioned. I am configuring the kube config file. Now and choose this command. Yeah, see here context will be added. So update context will be added. Location is /home under EC2 user. Cube under cube folder we have the config file. If you open this file, you can see the certifications, all the certification information you can find under this file. So all signed certifications are available. This location config file you can find the all certification information. Okay, so next to after entering these comments, now we can verify this command. So after this kubectl get svc, nodes are not at created right now, so we need to create this c. So this is the connected to our cluster. Now this is the our cluster, this is our cluster IP address, right? Next we need to create the worker nodes. So kubectl get nodes. So nodes we are not yet created, so you can enter this command. There is no nodes are created, it will display no resources. So control C and then enter kubectl get nodes. Now you can see there is no nodes, so we need to create the nodes also. See, no resources are found. Not go for your cluster and create the nodes. So this is my cluster active. Once cluster created, overview, workload, under configuration you can see details, compute, networking, adds on this, right? So just click on compute. Here we need to create the our computer worker nodes. Add node group, now it is enabled. Add node group or add Forgate profile. Just click on add node group. So your node group name, so worker node, worker nodes. Okay, IAM role I already created one worker node IAM role. Yes, selected, and then remaining are default. Click next. Okay, these are all the default settings only. Two nodes are I'm creating. If you want to three nodes, yes, you can go and create three nodes. Yes, three. So click next. These all are default setting. Click next. Yes, create your node group. Create. So I create node group also. See, just click on nodes. Now you can see node group will be created. Go per cluster. Yes, this is my node group with three nodes. See status creating. Now enter this command, node command, first command. It will display our all three nodes will be displayed here. So I successfully connected to my cluster by using the kubectl command line tool. I'm checking the nodes. Nodes are running or not. Control C. Nodes are creating. Enter the kubectl get nodes. Node is nothing but instant computer in our cluster. Yes, still no resources. Refresh. Once created nodes, it will display. Still not yet created. Yes, kubectl get nodes. No resources. That means still not yet created. Let's see. Still creating. Refresh. Just refresh. See, it is status is still creating. So once creating, it will display. Still creating. Still creating. I mentioned three nodes, right? By default tool, but I extra one node also added. Just refresh. There's three nodes. This is a worker group name. It start creating. Is once created, it will display here. Now you can see two nodes are, yeah, nodes are still not ready. Nodes are created but not at ready. Let's see. Not ready, not ready. Sometime it will ready. You can see the option. Still no, not ready. I'm watching the nodes start creating. Not ready, not ready. Yeah, see now ready. Two nodes are ready. Now nodes are all nodes are ready. In cluster, I created nodes. Nodes are ready. Now successfully cluster is ready. Node group is already. Now you can go and deploy any application. You can take your application from anywhere. You can run it. Right. So Control C, add the command kubectl get nodes. It will display the total number of nodes in your cluster. See, total number of nodes in my cluster 3. This is the first node in IP address information. Second node, third node. So all three nodes are created successfully. These are the version. These are the in seconds created. Right. Super. Next, we need to deploy the applications. Where is our application source code? From anywhere, GitHub, Bitbucket, Docker Hub. Go for GitHub. In my external repository, my source code is there. Source code means your application, your app is there. So go for example, I am taking one Kubernetes node, one pod node. Just click on pod. Yeah, this is my sample pod application. So I want to deploy this application. This is the command kubectl create. I want to deploy this application to my cluster. Copy this command and deploy. Paste, enter. See, pod node app is created. So I deployed one node app. So it is deployed under one pod. So successfully deployed. So enter next command. Command to get all pods. This is command to get all pods. Kubectl get pods. Execute this command and then see the all pods are displayed. See, one pod I deployed. Success node app is running in one pod. Okay, it is successfully running. Next, see, command to discover the pod details. So this is syntax. Now you can use this syntax to display the pods. Okay, then copy paste here. kubectl describe the pods nodes. See, this is total information. Where is your application? Total information of your pod. Your application is where is running, IP address, so container ID, so Docker image ID, so image ID, all details with a single command. Kubectl describe, so and then your application name, pod space. This is your, I am entering sample node app. This is one application. In this place, you can execute any application. You can enter your application name, app application, automation application, nginx, apache, HTTP, whatever, any application. So that application, this is the name of the application. This is the IP address of my container. This is the Kubernetes schedule version. This is running. This is the IP address. This is the Docker version, container version. This is a schedule or running pool created. Right, all the information will display. Right, next command. Next, execute the commands on pods. I want to execute a command on pod. This is the command. Copy paste. You can enter all these commands one by one. Kubectl execute node app print view. See, my application is executed successfully. So this is the path. This is the host name. This is the Kubernetes service host. This is Kubernetes service port HTTPS, port TCP, port number, node version 8.12, year version. This is all information. Home/root. This is the path. Okay, like that we can execute. So getting into pod terminal. So if you want to directly jump into application terminal, node app bash terminal, this is command. So see, this, if you enter this command, this location will be changed. So it will directly jump into this node app location. So enter. Now it will exit. Now I am at root node app /user/user apps. Now I at app location. Okay, I jump into node app bash terminal. In the bash terminal, now you can execute this command. So this is bash terminal. So to get logs, again you have to come back. Kubectl get logs node app. Want to see the logs of the cluster. Now again cd space dot or you can exit back, come back. Now execute this one, kubectl log node apps. See, this is the logs of the my application, Docker node apps JS. Node.js application I ran it. So exposing ports into internet. So is by default ports running in isolated environment. They are reschedulable within Kubernetes cluster. If you want to reach port outside of the cluster, you have to expose. How to expose? This is the syntax to expose your application. So copy this entire syntax and execute. Okay, and here and go and execute. Control C here and then execute. Okay, see, service node app execute successfully. Now by using the IP address of this pod, you can access your application information, your site information. Clear? So like this is the repository. I'm taking external repository. I will give this location also. If you want to try this sample application, you also try. You can try. So you can copy paste. This is the unit GitHub account too. So just log into GitHub account. As you open this link, it will go to this sample application repository. Now you can deploy this application. Clear? Any doubts? So once all done, you can want to remove the cluster. First, you need to remove the worker nodes. First, you need to select the worker nodes, delete the worker nodes. After deleting the worker nodes, again come back to the cluster and you have to remove the cluster. This is a process. Directly you cannot remove the cluster. First, we need with the worker nodes. After that, we can remove the cluster. Clear? Clear, Sai, Pramod?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Practice just.
Yeah, little bit confusing, but if you practice 1 or 2 times, you will get the concept.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about Pramod? I think he's in meeting. Yeah, tell me, Josh. So what was the process? Our activity done right yesterday night or still pending? So if not, we will reconnect again after some time. We will check it. If anything pending from your side. You changed that your IAM role name, right? Or that follower name?
You're asking me, sir?
No, no, Josh, I'm asking Josh. Josh,
Okay.
I think he's in mute. Okay, no problem. So I will ping to him separately. Okay, I will send this record. So please check me.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.